historic night for rail labor. We're very proud of what was accomplished. Everybody pulling together to make sure that we could get our members what they deserve.
This is the quality of life issue that we have been trying to get for our members since the bargaining round started. So we're going to hit the ground running. We'll be having more information here in the coming hours.
Fears of thousands of American rail workers going on strike averted this morning. Details on the agreement reached very early this morning.
Plus, as fall approaches, there are some deals you should take advantage of now to save some money.
As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we're getting a backstage look at the Classic Theater of San Antonio's newest play.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, September 15th. We'll check on weather and traffic in just a moment. But first.
That's right. President Biden says a tentative deal has been reached between the unions and rail companies to avert a major strike that could have halted the U.S. economy.
The president called it a win for thousands of rail workers, as well as the companies who now will be able to, quote, retain and recruit more workers, end quote.
The agreement came around 5 this morning after 20 consecutive hours of negotiations at the Department of Labor. The deal will now go back to the unions for a vote, after which there will be a cooling off period of several weeks.
Big news. We broke it early this morning. Again, wanted to get you updated here in the 9 o'clock hour, especially if you're just tuning into KSAT for the first time today.
And for now, let's go ahead and take a look outside with live cam. Pretty nice out there this morning, even now at 73 degrees. I can't believe we even saw 68 earlier.
Actually went down all the way to 67.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and we've got some cloud cover right now, so that's going to keep things cool for the time being, and we'll warm up pretty quickly as we head towards the afternoon. Let's look at the current numbers. And we are sitting at 73 degrees at the airport, 64 in Kerrville, 66 in Rock Springs. Kerrville down into the 50s this morning. What a morning it was, but we make it up to 93 this afternoon. And 10% chance of rain. That'll be the case tomorrow and Saturday too. It's pretty consistent weather here going forward. And as we look at the forecast air quality, it is an ozone action day. So for those who are sensitive to this kind of thing, asthma and the such, be aware that it's another one of those days. This third day in a row, by the way, we've had an ozone action day. There are some high school football games tonight. Weather looks good for that. Now, it won't be as cool as it was this morning, but temperatures will be in the 80s for kickoff. Sunset around 7:39, halftime 84. We will have to watch out for a stray storm with light southeasterly winds. How are the roads looking? Let's check in with Stephen for the latest there.
Things are still pretty busy, Justin. Actually, I'm getting a look here at the rotation that we have from TransGuide cameras. You can see, though the shots aren't really showing a whole lot of drivers out there, there are issues our map is actually detecting. And I've been trying to locate some of these on the TransGuide cameras, but thankfully what we're seeing is just the commute is dwindling down a bit, but still pretty busy. But we do have some crashes to report here off 35 northbound at Olympia Parkway. Our map is showing that buildup. You can see it right there on your screen. The crash has been reported by KSAT. It was just a few minutes ago, so watch out if you're traveling up toward Live Oak. You'll likely encounter a slowdown. But let's also take a drive over here because another incident also reported at 410. Those eastbound lanes seem to be always a trouble spot for drivers, and here we have another incident we are adding to that list. A crash reported there in those eastbound lanes of 410 at Babcock. A little bit of yellow building on the screen, nothing too drastic at this point, but watch out for the driver. Watch out for, first responders are working to clear this up. One more, we got to add another one to the list here that looks like we may be seeing the end of it. 1604 southbound at US 90. I stepped out of the screen so you could see the location, but it's in the southbound lanes of 1604, not too far from 90, but it doesn't appear that it's causing any issues. Now, as we give you a wide look at the map, jump back in here, you can see that thankfully no slowdowns are really plaguing the roadways at this hour, but we're going to keep our eyes on these crashes, find out exactly how they'll impact the commute. But right now, thankfully, looks like things are getting just a tad bit better. Mark, Stuff.
Thank you, Stephen. Other top stories we're following this morning. Florida's governor sending dozens of migrants on planes to Massachusetts, a new destination in the battle over what to do about illegal immigration.
This move continuing to escalate the standoff over the surge of migration at the southern border. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' office says it chartered 2 planes to fly migrants from Florida to Martha's Vineyard. Fox News first aired video of the migrants deboarding. About 50 reportedly from Venezuela, some as young as 2 years old.
Local government officials said they had no advance notice of the arrival. DeSantis saying in a statement, quote, states like Massachusetts, New York and California will better facilitate the care of these individuals who they have been inviting into our country by incentivizing illegal immigration through their designation as sanctuary states, end quote. Also overnight, 2 busloads of migrants arrived outside the vice president's residence in Washington, D.C.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott began busing migrants to other states back in April. Just yesterday, Illinois' governor called up the National Guard to help with migrants sent to Chicago from Texas, calling Abbott's move a stunt. And now to London, where members of the public are lining up to say goodbye to their beloved queen.
Britain's longest-serving monarch will lie in state until Monday, brought there from Buckingham Palace in a solemn procession.
And as ABC's Inés de la Cuetara reports, the line for people to see the Queen's casket is expected to take hours, but authorities predict nearly 1 million people will still try to pay their respects.
Through the night, thousands lining up outside of Westminster Hall, where Queen Elizabeth II now lies in state.
Inside it was amazing. It was really quiet and yeah, you just couldn't help but feel emotional.
The queue snaking along the River Thames and over Lambeth Bridge, nearly 3 miles long at one point. Inside, some pausing for a moment, others bowing to the monarch.
For many people, they just want to be part of history. I think no matter how you feel about the monarchy in the UK, there is a love and adoration for the Queen. And so for everyone who has the chance, they do want to go there and show their respects.
The Queen brought to this resting place in a solemn 38-minute procession. Thousands of well-wishers coming to watch as her coffin was carried over from Buckingham Palace on a horse-drawn carriage, draped in the royal standard and topped with the imperial state crown.
I was 5 when the Queen became Queen, and she has been the mainstay and the constant in my life. I'm now 75, and I just thought I should mark her passing.
The Queen's family following the coffin, King Charles flanked by his siblings, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. And in a show of unity, Princes William and Harry side by side. The crowd spontaneously breaking into applause as minute guns were fired and the bells of Big Ben tolled.
And the Queen's state funeral will be held on Monday at Westminster Abbey. Her coffin will then be brought in a procession to St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, her final resting place. Inés de la Cuetara, ABC News, London.
Happening right now, San Antonio City Council taking up a final vote on the budget after some adjustments were made to the proposal just yesterday. Some of those changes include more funding for the MLK March here in San Antonio, more funds for sidewalk repairs, and extending the city's pool season. We're still waiting to see what the council will do with that $50 million surplus in revenue from CPS Energy. But council members at last check were still split on a plan to send rebates to customers.
Northside ISD is hosting a community meeting this evening to get feedback on how they should redraw their district. This is in response to a change in population in certain areas, and the meeting will be at the Northside Activity Center on Culebra Road that is near Loop 410. This is happening at 6 p.m. Northside is only one of 2 districts that are needing to redistrict. SAISD will also be making some changes. They will be hosting community meetings as well beginning next week. You can find more details about proposed changes to both of these districts on our website at KSAT.com.
Today marks the start of National Hispanic Heritage Month. It's observed each year starting September 15th through October 15th.
National Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the histories, cultures, and contributions of Americans whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. It started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week and expanded to 30 days and became law in 1988.
906, 73 degrees.
And coming up, Tiffany Huertas joins us right now. Tiff, what do you have?
Good morning, guys. We're here on a super cute assignment at a local garden where kids are learning about gardening skills. They're learning about healthy eating habits and so much more. We're going to take a look at this program and how it's expanding to other areas coming up. On this side.
The Guayabera is a popular shirt worn by men all throughout the warm climates of Latin America. Its origins, well, they're the subject of a debate, from having evolved from the uniforms of Spanish and Cuban soldiers to a man asking his wife to sew 4 pockets to the front of his shirt to hold his cigars and other belongings. Several countries also lay claim to the Guayabera, from Cuba to the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, even as far away as the Philippines. The distinctive look of the shirt has basically remained the same: 4 front pockets and pleats, also referred to as alforces. Running down the front and the back of the shirt, the Mexican Guayaberas add beautiful embroidery to highlight those pleats. Production of the Guayabera dwindled in Cuba after the revolution, and manufacturing moved to Merida, Mexico, with its heyday occurring in the 1970s. Today, Guayaberas are enjoying a renaissance, with shirts being made of different styles of fabrics and creations. They're also even being made for women. The Guayabera remains an icon of Hispanic culture and style, and is worn by people of all backgrounds.
Just about 9:12. Welcome back. A local program is growing minds and produce in school gardens.
The nonprofit Gardopia Gardens is working with schools across the city to create gardens and teach kids about healthy eating, the science of gardening, and much more.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from Blessed Sacrament Academy down on the south side. And Tiffany, good morning. What type of impact has this program had on students?
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Well, students are more curious. They're expressing themselves, and they're learning so much about gardening. Here every Thursday, Gardopia Gardens comes to the Academy, and to talk a little bit more, we have Ashton and Ashley. Good morning. Ashton, we'll talk about this program first. How did this all start?
So this started back in March of this year. I'm Ashton Ellis with Gardopia Gardens. We're here at Blessed Sacrament Academy planting herbs with the students today. As you can see, we have them planting a variety of herbs that they can use with cooking to take home.
And this is the students here. They had no idea about this before.
Some of them had a little bit of background, but for the most part, this is pretty new to them. They really enjoy it. They love it. They have fun. We got to grow watermelons with the kids and eat them, and that was really fun. I had more fun than the kids. Yeah.
And Ashley, what have you seen from the kids? How have they expressed themselves?
I think it has helped them grow a lot with their curiosity. They really enjoy coming out to the garden, being able to actually plant, see what they plant grow, and then getting to harvest everything that they plant. They really enjoy it. It's hands-on for them, so they have a good time every time they're out here.
And how old are they?
These are our 3 to 5-year-olds, but we have all of our children come out down to 1 year old. They get to come out here and explore and get hands-on in the garden.
So this is for all ages. What are the expansion look like for other areas?
So with Gardopia, we currently have about 8 schools that we operate at. We have Young Women's Leadership is one of our biggest schools. We're planning to expand to at least about 20 more schools by the end of this year.
Do you think this is going to impact the community in a big way?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Because, I would say it's about growing our own food, teaching people that they can be healthy at home by growing their own food.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to have more from this garden, and we're going to talk to the kiddos that they're having a lot of fun, getting very messy, which this is all about. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Tiffany. It looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, you can hear them too. Thank you, Tiffany. A beautiful morning for that.
I was going to say, yeah.
And we've had some clouds creep in this morning.
Very
yes,
nice.
Temperatures dropped down to 67 this morning, and now you guys mentioned we have the clouds. So that's kind of locking in the cool weather for the moment. This isn't going to last very long, so yeah, get out and enjoy it. It was gorgeous this morning. Let's look at the lows. 67 here in San Antonio. Kerrville got down to 58. It's 59 up there in Fredericksburg. There were several areas that got down into the 50s in the hill country. And this is the coolest we've seen since May, late May. Got down to 66 in Castroville, 67 Port SA, 57 Bernie Stage. What a start. Let's take a look at the drought monitor. This just came in, and it gives us an idea of where we stand with the drought, obviously. And last week, we had an area here of extreme drought. The area of exceptional drought had really kind of shrunken down to just around the New Braunfels area. The update this week, there isn't much of one. It looks really similar, so not much has changed. We're still definitely in a drought here around San Antonio. and surrounding areas. And as you get up towards New Braunfels, that's where things are still really pretty dire. We need some rain. There is a little bit in the forecast, but still not enough. And what about Medina Lake? Well, it's down 76 feet, 7.8% full. It's down 14 feet over the last 3 months and down just a little bit from last week when we last looked at that number. As we go outside for you there, those clouds we talked about, mostly cloudy at the airport. Temperatures right now 73 degrees, dew point is at 67. That number has jumped up a little bit after falling overnight and allowing these temperatures to dip into the 60s. Northeasterly winds right now at about 7 miles per hour. And as we look at the cloud cover, you can see it's pretty thick here around Baird County. We've got some clouds moving through Hondo, Kerrville. So these morning clouds will be around a little bit longer before they scatter out some, and then we look at partly cloudy skies this afternoon. But with these mostly cloudy conditions, that may help to keep temperatures down for a while longer, which I don't think anyone's complaining about. 69 right now in Bulverde, 71 Canyon Lake, 74 in New Braunfels. A little more sun as you get out towards Seguin, 71 there, and 73 over at Randolph. Dew points are in the 60s and now 70s, so the moisture's kind of surging in from our south and east. Earlier, these numbers were lower, and as you get into the hill country, the numbers still fall off a little bit. But in general, we're going to see more moisture here over the next couple of days. Dew point trend today keeps dew points there in the mid to upper 60s, and then maybe falling off a little bit this afternoon. But it will be a more humid day when you compare it to yesterday. Water vapor imagery shows we got some very dry air off to our east, some very dry air off to our west. In between, there's more moisture, and that's where I think we could see some isolated showers and storms today before high pressure comes in. And this is that heat high that we don't love so much. It was around most of the summer. It's back. And it builds as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So that means we're going to see some pretty hot temperatures well above average. And we look at those numbers, mid-90s, in fact, by Monday and Tuesday. Not record highs, but above average for sure. Meantime, out in the tropics, we've got Tropical Storm Fiona. Right now, winds are at 50 miles per hour. This is going to track west over parts of Puerto Rico and then start to take a turn to the north. At this point, does not look like it will have any effects on Texas, probably not even the East Coast, but it does still bear some watching. We'll see what happens as it interacts with some of those islands and as it interacts with some landmass. 93 Friday, 93 Saturday, small chances for rain here. Best chances will be along the coast. Otherwise, it is hot next week. 95 Monday, 96 on Tuesday, guys.
All right, well, at least we had a cool morning.
There's that.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
918, 74 degrees.
And prices at the grocery store continue to remain higher than we'd like to see. Coming up, a breakdown of which items will cost you a little more and what you can do to save money on your next grocery store trip.
And the moves you should make now to save yourself some money before fall arrives.
It's September, and there are plenty of financial moves you can make now before fall arrives. Money Magazine recently looked at a few of the moves you'll want to consider this month. For starters, sign up for alerts related to student loan forgiveness if you're eligible. Check the criteria you'll need to meet first, then sign up for alerts from the Education Department at ed.gov. And while it is indeed September, start thinking November. You want to try and book Thanksgiving travel this month. Travel experts say September is a good month to book your airfare for the holiday. Budget travel agency Cheap Air says a Thanksgiving airfare book this month will cost you $450, but waiting until October could cost you almost $50 more, and waiting until November can mean paying at least $200 more. Another September money move to consider, trading in your used vehicle. If you're thinking of trading in an old vehicle for something new, now may be the optimum time to do it. Used vehicle prices are still close to all-time highs, with dealers paying more than $23,000 for used cars, trucks, and SUVs. But used vehicle prices have begun to decline slightly, so now may be the time to maximize the value of trade-in for a new vehicle. For more on money moves you can make now, check out the full story at money.com.
Food prices soaring at rates not seen since the late 1970s.
From the meat counter to the bread aisle, many items on your grocery list are more expensive.
CNN's Jen Sullivan breaks down the items you're paying more for and how to save next time you're at the supermarket.
Prices for several basic items on your grocery list are soaring at rates not seen since May 1979.
Food prices are up 11.4% on a year-ago basis.
That's according to the latest Consumer Price Index released Tuesday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which also showed that overall, grocery prices jumped 13.5% over the last year. The data highlighting what Americans are already seeing at the supermarket. Most food items are more expensive than a year ago, including the bare essentials. Egg prices are up nearly 40%. Milk rose 17%, and the price of bread jumped more than 16%. Economists say that's worsening the situation for U.S. families already struggling to make ends meet.
Their own personal finances, which largely can be translated into personal disposable income, well, that's falling in real terms.
There's also sticker shock at the meat and poultry counter. Chicken prices are up nearly 17%. Meat and pork both up nearly 7%. And experts say the increases are forcing many families to constantly redo their budgets.
I'll look at my bank statement, figure out what's going on, jot it down, and then sort of go through it and see what I can cut.
Author Michelle Singletary says if you're trying to save on groceries, try skipping the credit or debit card.
Take cash to the grocery store. Take cash to even fill up your car, because you will find you'll drive less because you're thinking, I just spent $50. That $50 out of your hand.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
9:25, 74 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a backstage look at the newest play at the Classic Theater of San Antonio, what the play is about and how it aligns with the theater's theme this season.
Plus, a relatively new program within the San Antonio Fire Department has now become the gold standard across the country. Courtney Friedman will tell us about what that program does and introduces us to one of the first program patients.
And it's not looking too good out there with TransGuide. This shot here at I-35 at Schertz Parkway, you can see the holdup. The lanes are open. It's just very slow moving right now.
Been like that for a while now. Near 3009, the big accident apparently is on the northbound lanes of 35. Saving lives and attracting attention for it.
A San Antonio Fire Department program only 4 years old is now the gold standard across the country.
Makes whole blood available on ambulances and at trauma scenes.
Courtney Friedman tells us about the big milestone the department just hit and why that's important to their very first patient.
3 years ago, Tiffany Kieschnick was inside this car.
I went to the gas station to pick up an IC and ended up having a stroke on my way home, and I flipped my car into a ditch.
San Antonio EMS had just begun carrying whole blood to trauma scenes to allow for immediate transfusions.
Had they not had whole blood on that ambulance, I was not going to make it.
Kieschnick was the very first patient to receive whole blood in the field, not just in San Antonio, but in the nation. SAFD created the program.
When I came up as a paramedic, the only thing we could do was start IVs.
Now, Fire Chief Charles Hood says his crews have just administered the 1,000th unit of whole blood in the field.
This is one of the 8 units that carries this whole blood on board. They either can drive this out to a crime or an accident scene, or they can administer it right here in the ambulance.
The blood kept in a rigorously tested cooler, keeping the blood viable for the whole 24-hour shift.
If you touch it, it's actually kind of cold, right? So you don't really want to put cold fluid, especially this cold, into someone's body.
All right, so we have a warmer that we use here. The blood will run through the tubing and into the warmer here.
SAFD engineers Roy Zamora and Samuel Guzman say the whole process can take just 5 to 10 minutes.
I've been in contact with the outside agencies as well as the Department of Defense. We've had some relationships with the military, so it's really gone global at this point.
EMS medic officer Lieutenant William Bullock has taken calls from Austin, Seattle, even New York City asking for training.
I'm glad that, my story got out there and it got more people to jump on board.
Knowing that she was the first of so many that will be saved. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
A new episode of South Texas Crime Stories is now streaming. This week, Eric Hernandez and Lee Waldman dive into the case of 12-year-old Rosa Sandoval.
The young girl disappeared without a trace back in 2004. Her remains would later be found on San Antonio's southwest side. But to this day, there are still many questions surrounding Rosa's death.
You can listen to this episode and past episodes of South Texas Crime Stories by scanning this QR code on your screen right now.
Outside with live cam, can you believe it? Here we are, mid-September. We're holding in the mid-70s right now.
It's beautiful right now.
Not too bad at all. One of the things that's helping us, that cloud cover there, was kind of a cool morning. Clouds are locking in that coolness for now, but those clouds scatter out. We will get back into the 90s this afternoon. I know our producer Alex is not going to believe this, but all the allergens in our pollen count this morning are low. She just said she didn't believe me, but that's the pollen count. They're 390 for molds, they're low. Ragweed, fallow, pigweed, all low. Those numbers are all down from yesterday's readings. And as we look at the aquifer since March 1st, we haven't checked in on this in a while, but we're at 635 even today. That's well below average, about 25 feet below average. And the aquifer has pretty much been holding steady here, but we're still in stage 2 once a week watering. SAWS wants to remind folks of that, and they are upping their enforcement if you're breaking those rules. So it's something they're watching just with the current aquifer level. Satellite picture shows we've got cloud cover over Bexar County, over a large portion of South Texas right now. Again, those clouds break up later this afternoon and we'll see these temperatures go up. But at the moment, still very nice. 73 at the airport, 73 at Randolph, 71 Seguin. Still some 60s on the map, places like Kerrville and Comfort. How does the weekend look? We'll take a closer inspection of that forecast here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Another look out there at I-35 at Schertz Parkway. It's still kind of a big mess. It's been something that drivers have been dealing with a lot with this morning. And it was an accident that was on a different, not in this shot, but that's some of that what they're dealing with in the holdup. But you can see the lanes are open, just slow moving.
Yep, that's mainly northbound is the big problem. Well, back to the latest on that big rail agreement that we mentioned at the top of the newscast.
In an 11th hour deal, the rail companies and workers reached an agreement to avoid a strike and an economic disaster.
ABC's Justin Finch shares the president's remarks and details on how the deal came together.
With hours to go ahead of a midnight deadline, word from the White House that a potential rail worker strike has been avoided. President Biden saying, "I thank the unions and rail companies for negotiating in good faith and reaching a tentative agreement that will keep our critical rail system working and avoid disruption of our economy."
Estimates from the rail companies is $2 billion per day. So that adds up really quick.
Nearly all Amtrak trains outside its Northeast Corridor line could have faced shutdowns on local commuter lines from coast to coast. From cars to crops, close to a third of the nation's freight moves on the rails. Round-the-clock talks were called to prevent a work stoppage that could have stifled the U.S.'s strained supply chain, driving up already high prices on goods.
It means that you could see empty shelves at your store where goods that were supposed to get there just could not get there.
In recent years, railroad companies cut thousands of jobs and have earned near-record profits. A sticking point in labor talks was sick leave.
Just trying to get us some sick time to be able to take care of, one, ourselves, and two, our loved ones, and that's what we're fighting for.
Labor Secretary Marty Walsh says the deal came together after more than 20 hours of negotiations and that the agreement balances the needs of workers, businesses, and the nation's economy. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And now to the coronavirus. The U.S. government is updating its latest strategy to fight COVID-19. Today, the White House is unveiling a plan it calls the Global COVID Response 2.0. An official familiar with the initiative says the strategy is geared to end the global emergency and protect health systems around the world. The plan's objectives include vaccinating people with the highest risk and who are hardest to reach to prepare for future variants and health threats. The White House is requesting $4 billion to implement the strategy. The announcement was timed to coincide with the UN General Assembly meetings, so world leaders could discuss and coordinate that plan.
While Americans prepare to go to the polls again less than 2 months from now, election experts are sounding the alarm about the state of American democracy as the integrity of our elections are being questioned. Candidates from coast to coast are openly and in many cases falsely denying the results of President Biden's Electoral College victory, and the mistrust is hitting at the core of our system of government. ABC's Joe O'Brien has more as part of a new ABC News series called Democracy in Peril.
November's midterm elections will be a test not just of who will hold the balance of power in Congress, but of a country confronting never-before-seen challenges to the bedrock of American democracy. As the nation prepares to go to the polls again, millions of Americans still believe the baseless claim that the 2020 election was fraudulent. Polling website 538 estimates more than half of Americans will have an election denier on their ballot come this November. In states like Arizona and Pennsylvania, Republican candidates for governor don't believe President Biden's White House win was legitimate.
Our elections were stolen from us.
But dozens of court rulings prove that claim is false.
If a large chunk of Americans do not believe that their government was actually rightfully and dutifully elected, it undermines the rule of law.
President Biden now turning the issue into a rallying cry for Democrats ahead of the midterms.
Democracy cannot survive when one side believes there are only two outcomes to an election. Either they win or they were cheated. And that's where the MAGA Republicans are today.
The president later walking back his comments, saying he doesn't view all Republicans or even all Trump voters as threats to democracy, just those who continue falsely claiming the election was stolen. Still, some Republicans calling Biden's words false and divisive.
Saying that Republicans are a threat to democracy is really a slap in the face.
But even before Americans take to the polls, those charged with ensuring the accuracy of the vote are coming under attack. Experienced elections officials are leaving in droves, some saying they were threatened with violence in the wake of the 2020 election.
And that's very concerning for several reasons, including the institutional knowledge that is often leaving with them.
All of it putting the country at an inflection point. Still reeling from the deadly January 6th attack on the democratic process after the last election, and wondering if Americans will be able to freely and safely cast their ballots in the next one. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
And local election officials are reminding Bexar County residents to register to vote ahead of the November election if they haven't already done so. You have until October 11th to register. Early voting in Bexar County will be October 24th through November 4th. Election day is November 8th. More information is on our website at ksat.com.
In other news, while most people don't like going to the dentist, it can be much harder with someone with special needs. But in less than 2 years, that could change. A specialty dental clinic that focuses on those with medical issues will open here in San Antonio. Patty Santos tells us how it will be the first of its kind in South Texas.
All we're going to do is take a look with our cute mirror. See, look at this tooth mirror.
You go to a regular family dentist, they refuse to treat her because she needs a special antibiotic cover.
A simple dental checkup can be stressful for an adult or child with medical complexities. Just ask their caregiver.
I took her to my family dentist and he was like, I can just examine her.
Shreya Prasanna feels lucky that staff at UT Health San Antonio School of Dentistry can meet her child's delicate needs.
Your mouth. I just want you to open real big for me, sweetheart. Good. And bite down. Does anything hurt there at all?
Soon their services will be expanded even further thanks to a $2 million federal grant.
If you have a special needs child, they may not be able to express the fact that they have a toothache the same way another child would. So it's important to really that they know about this resource and have access.
School Dean Dr. Peter Loomer says the Phil and Karen Hunker Special Care Clinic is going to be life-changing for an estimated 50,000 patients over the course of 5 years.
The school already provides care for children and families with special needs, but this program will be more specialized.
2 looks fine.
It's an area that requires additional training, so every dentist can do this, every hygienist. They just need a little bit of extra training on management of a more complex medical or physical challenge that a patient may have.
Take it from a mom, the clinic is desperately needed.
You can make your trip to the dentist a little less stressful.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, very nice.
And the next big challenge for the school is finding the right workforce to train students. The clinic is set to open in 2024. It will provide care for the insured and uninsured, and there will be a patient assistance fund as well.
Just about 9:41 at 76 degrees.
And here's a look at what's coming up next.
Coming up, we're going backstage, outside, to give you a preview of the latest performance from the Classic Theater of San Antonio that's happening in a new venue that you've probably never been before.
Just about 1:45, the Classic Theater of San Antonio is kicking off their 15th season, and the theme this season is New Places, New Faces.
The theater's goal is to highlight plays that focus on different cultures, and their first play is called Roosters. It focuses on a Hispanic family in the rural Southwest.
KSAT producer Alexis Page and digital journalist Andrew Wilson take us backstage to give us an inside look.
The Classic Theater of San Antonio is putting on a play called Roosters in partnership with Central San Antonio in a unique performance space right here in downtown.
This is our first production of season 15. Season 15 is called New Places, New Faces, and the concept is that we're taking classics of different cultures and placing them in different exciting venues throughout the city. La Zona is a wonderful venue. It's outdoors, but we really installed a very traditional theater into an outdoor space. So you're gonna have really comfortable chairs, you're gonna have concessions, you're gonna have air-conditioned restrooms, and you're gonna have a really great show. La Zona is the perfect place to do this. It's really a crossroads in downtown San Antonio. We're right by the market, we're right close to San Pedro Creek, and we're right in back of the Alameda Theater, which was a Spanish-speaking movie theater once upon a time. So it's a great place to put Roosters as a classic of Chicano literature.
Roosters is a show with a family in the Southwest who is dealing with emotional violence. The father has been in jail for 7 years for killing a person, and now he's back. And so as the play unfolds, we see this machismo, this macho man coming back to his environment and how it's affected and will affect the family.
For more information and tickets, head to KSAT.com. Alexis Page, KSAT 12 News.
9:46.
It is 76 degrees, which is awesome for 9:46. We'll take that.
That has been the big story all morning long, is how great it has felt outside. And, these temperatures aren't, jacket weather, but it is cool enough to where you feel the difference. And this is the coolest we've been since May. So it is great. We look across the state at some of the low temperatures this morning. Amarillo got down to 63, 62 there in Lubbock. The cool spot in the mountains in Marfa, 54 there. So much of the state dealing with some pretty nice weather this morning. Not courtesy of a front, just some drier air that worked in. We're going to see humidity start to increase here over the next couple of days. Here's a look at the time lapse. We had some clear skies earlier, but some morning clouds have worked in since, and now we're looking at mostly cloudy conditions. 73 northeasterly winds right now at about 7 miles per hour, and you can see that patch of low cloudiness that has developed and is working its way up towards Kerrville, Hondo, Uvalde. Here around San Antonio, again, mostly cloudy, but some breaks, especially as you get into the southwestern part of Bexar County. A little closer look here. And temperatures 73 Helotes, 70 Bernie Stage after being in the 50s this morning. 72 Canyon Lake, 77 New Braunfels, and where we are getting more sun at this hour, already at 80 degrees there in Gonzales. Dew points have been increasing fairly steadily, slowly but surely this morning. We started off with dew points in the low 60s. Now we've got dew points in the upper 60s. Humidity, you're going to start to feel it a little bit more today. These numbers will plateau, but you'll still feel a little bit of mugginess in the air. Will that lead to some showers and storms? There's a small chance here. As we look at the forecast, I think we'll start to see some showers and storms developing around lunchtime along the coast, and a few of those can make a run for the I-35 corridor this afternoon. This is 5 o'clock. Not seeing much, but I just can't rule it out. Stray storm or two, generally east and southeast there of I-35. And then by tonight, obviously, everything dies down. So your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 85 noontime. We'll be up around 92 by 3 p.m., 93 your high temperature today, and 93 by 5 o'clock. Into the 80s tonight, 86 by 8 p.m. and 84 by 9 p.m. As we look at the forecast here, it's going to be kind of a return to summer. We were doing so well. We had those chances of rain. We had some good rain events come through, and now it's like we're reverting back to what we dealt with most of the summer, and that is a quiet pattern. Yes, we do have some small rain chances next couple of days, but this big blue H, you know what that means, high pressure, and it builds in over Texas early next week. It takes away rain chances. It brings the heat back. It's not going to be record heat, but it will be above average, and I think September, or at least the next couple of weeks, we're going to be dealing with some above average temperatures. This goes through Wednesday, Thursday of next week, and I'm still not seeing anything that indicates that we're going to get a nice front coming through here. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but just not seeing it yet. It will come. We'll get a front here through South Texas eventually, but it's just not in the cards for right now. As we look at the tropics, we are still watching what's going on with Tropical Storm Fiona. Right now, winds are at 50 miles per hour, gusting to 65, and it's moving west at about 13. So by tomorrow evening, this will be affecting the Lesser Antilles here, some of the Virgin Islands, and then making its way up across parts of Puerto Rico and Haiti and Dominican Republic. This is mostly going to be a rainmaker, I think, for the islands, and then it starts to turn north. From there, it could intensify a little bit as it moves past the Bahamas. But we think this is probably going to stay out over the open Atlantic. Still bears some watching, especially for those on the East Coast. But I don't think this is going to have any impacts for us here in Texas. We got that question yesterday a lot with Tropical Storm Fiona developing, but it does not look to have any impacts for us. So the forecast next few days, just a 10% chance of rain. Coastal showers generally speaking, but a few of those could make their way up towards I-35. Temperatures very consistent here, 93 next few days. And with that high pressure over top of us, we could go as high as 95 or 96 next week. The records are around 100, so I don't think we set any records, but that is above average, no doubt about it, guys.
Yes, it is. Hopefully after it becomes fall officially, we'll get a little break maybe.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, Justin, thanks.
9:50, about 76 degrees.
When we come back, we'll look at a new playground plan to be built in Uvalde and what members of a nonprofit behind the project say they hope it brings to that community.
Certainly when we're able to see the joy of people coming together, that plays a role in us seeing something, kind of the life that's here. It plays a role in healing. So our hope is that it can play a small part in helping the community heal.
Yeah, that nonprofit hoping to help heal Uvalde by building a custom playground for kids there. The mock-up was unveiled yesterday and designed by the communities and families of the victims of the Robb Elementary School shooting.
The new playground will be built at De Leon Park, and the current wooden equipment will be torn down by the city. It will be built by Kaboom, a national nonprofit that aims to bring play equipment to underserved communities. The CEO says she hopes this park helps the community bring some joy and healing.
Work on the park will start next month. All of this is being done by hand, so they need about 250 volunteers. And if you'd like to help out, we have a link to sign up over at KSAT.com.
And registration is open for the 9th annual Head for the Cure. The 5K run and walk raises awareness and funds to fight brain cancer.
KSAT's former news director Jim Boyle was diagnosed with glioblastoma and passed away, but his legacy lives on. His daughter helped kick off the event outside the KSAT studios back in 2014. And since then, it's grown with more families running for the survivors and in remembrance of their loved ones.
And this year it all kicks off on the 24th. You can register right now on our website at KSAT.com. Just use this promo code KSAT to get $5 off your registration.
And by the way, there is file video we've been using of Stephanie running in one of these Head for the Cures.
Yes, that's me.
All right, let's get you updated on traffic. That big incident out there by FM 3009 in the Schertz area has now cleared. So TransGuide has moved on. They've got the cameras back on the rotator. You're looking live now at 281 and Encino Rio out there on the far north side.
And Steph don't play. She's hard to keep up with.
She is.
Races.
Yes. Almost
fast.
every day.
You're fast, Justin.
Not really. Not these days. 93 degrees forecast for today. We're at 77 right now. Small chances of rain next few days. Otherwise, it's hot, it's humid, and we've got partly cloudy skies.
I'm now ready to play Max Massey in basketball. As long as he still has that on, I'm finally ready. So Max, let's go.
Have a good day.